Hey, everybody. Welcome again to another Boneyard edition. I'm just so like kind of crazy about the Boneyard and all my characters and stuff. So I'm going to start putting them out there. And then you guys that have seen the pieces, you guys that own the pieces, you guys are good to see who's in your pieces and be part of this whole world. So I checked this, I showed this to you yesterday. This is something new that I have. This is Bob. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Changes color. That's Bob. It changes all sorts of different colors from green and red and all that. It's really cool. It's actually taken from that picture right there. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to be probably selling them pretty soon. You can change colors, purple and all sorts of different things like that. It's actually pretty cool. I'm digging it. But anyway, so today I figured, being the fact that yesterday I did Tibia's Pizza, right? I kind of want to keep on going on some of the characters that you might see sometimes and you might not see. Yeah, Bob, I get it. It's one of your good buddies. I know. So this is we're going to be drawing T-Bone today. T-Bone is actually the guitarist and bassist to C8. I think currently you see him in the original Bob concert that I did. He's also in the Green Room, and now currently at the Three Leaf Clover. You don't see him that often, but he is a definite part. He's good friends with Bob and Cotton Candy, both of them. He's good friends with both of them. They hang out and stuff like that. So, but he's kind of like a, kind of his own kind of guy, right? And I'll kind of explain what I mean. So T-Bone is one of those guys when I drew him originally, kind of like Flea, right? From where he's a crazy guy, right? But he's kind of like very very private, even though you wouldn't think so because he's crazy, right? But he is. He's a private guy, not like Bob. Bob is just all over the road, right? And that's what you would expect Bob to be. But T-Bone is not. He likes rocking out. He likes doing that stuff. But he is definitely not like Bob. If you ever see the Green Room or are able to see the Green Room, you can kind of see he's just chilling out on the couch, playing, his bass. And, Bob is the one that's, giving people the finger and all that stuff. So he is very just like a private guy, plays for C8, loves it, but you don't see him that often. Now, one of the reasons I thought of this character like that is I just, sometimes, these guys are just like all out but they're just private people. And that's kind of the way I wanted him. So I knew back then that I wasn't really going to put him in a lot of pieces for that reason, because he is just not that type of dude. So you see him, don't worry, but you don't see him as much as Bob. Bob, on the other hand, he wants to be in everything. Wants everyone to see him, but acts like he doesn't. See, Bob, he acts like he's upset or acts like whatever, but he's not. But T-Bone is not that guy. T-Bone is just mellow, likes music for music, And not that Bob doesn't, but you kind of know what I mean. You know, they kind of met in high school and started this band, and it kind of just took off, did its thing. So he doesn't mind the notoriety or the fame. Don't get me wrong. He's not that kind of a dude. But he just definitely likes his privacy. Now, you'll know him in most pics because he has these like Michael Jackson straps on his pants. All right. But like I said, he is a private guy, but he's like probably one of the best guitar players. He's one of those guys that plays multiple instruments. And the thing that's crazy about him is, in the end, Bob couldn't do what he does without him. He is just one of those guys. But you find that in a lot of different characters. You do. In Rush and all these different things where you have these guys that are just phenomenal, just amazing musicians, but aren't in it for the limelight, right? They're in it for the music, and they're in it for stuff like that. I mean, truly, that's kind of how it is sometimes, right? Oh, hey. Hey, man, how you doing? No, Yoshi's here. You see him in the background. Look at him. He's silent producer. Look at him. He is stoic today. He is paying attention. He is just on the ball. But what's your issue? I'm not dogging you out. There's not one time that I dogged you out. No, I didn't say you weren't a musician. I did say you really need him. But you don't gotta get all crazy and start talking smack. All right? CA to C8. Okay, I'll watch what I say. All right. Man, chill out. All right. So, I figure I'm going to do I'm just like, I started thinking about it and I was like, I'm doing all these other characters and stuff like that, and that's cool, don't get me wrong. But then I thought, man, I started this whole station specifically to do Boneyard stuff. And I figured I'd do other stuff and stuff like that, but I'm like, nah, I need to get these guys, down, and you guys know who they are. And because especially this guy, like I said, he's in my new piece, which is the 3-leaf clover. And you wouldn't really know who he is, but I sold his original concert, which was like forever ago. It was like 2-3 years ago. And it's not funny, but I think it's so cool that person has a piece that is so like iconic. It was like it kind of all started with Bob, really. I mean, the whole world. I was always drawing these skeletons and always enjoying them and drawing them in my own way. But when I started this whole world, it was really Bob. His concert was the first of the whole thing. The whole thing. And like I said, I did other skeletons and stuff in the past, but the Boneyard kind of started with him. And that's why you always see him, because I always like drawing Bob. I just do. I think he's a kind of cool character. He's a cool character. He doesn't apologize for who he is. He is just him. And I think that's the coolest thing about Bob. Now, in the end, you guys know Bob. I'm doing some cool things with Bob. I'm going to be making a full-size, life-size Bob that you can take pictures with and stuff like that. I hope he comes out okay, and it comes out good. Now, the thing about T-Bone, he is very, he's not a flashy guy. Well, neither is Bob. I mean, they're punk rockers, right? So they're really not that, interested in like, people's idea of fashion. Let's put it that way, right? They're kind of their own deals, and they like their own style, right? Now, T-Bone is less of a style freak than, of course, Bob. Bob, does his stuff, and Bob dresses with his green jacket, the iconic green jacket, right? And with his buttons on it and things of that nature. When T-Bone, not really. T-Bone is not that type of dude. Because he's classic, man. He's just like, here I am, man. I am Now, I'm hoping you guys are liking this. I figured that's how you're going to get to know all these guys, right? Because there's some people that you might not ever know, and then I could talk about it and give you more of an idea on what the Boneyard is and what it's about. Originally, when I did the Boneyard, and I tell people this all the time, originally when I did the Boneyard, I did it, because I liked drawing these little skeletons. They were just kind of what I've been doing for years. But I wanted to do something different. I didn't want it to be like this whole thing on, I didn't want it to be this whole thing on, like scary or anything. That was never my intent. I always thought they were funny. I always thought they were cool. So it wasn't even about that. But what I wanted to do is kind of like change it up a little bit. I could have done De La Muertes, and I could have done things of that nature. I could have. But I kind of didn't want to. I wanted, like I said, something different. So when I came up with this whole idea, I wanted to basically do, things that we do all the time, things that we do every day, you know, and I wanted to just cut out, anyone could do this world, with little funny characters and everything, but I wanted to kind of basically make it so in the end, there was no race, there was no race, there was no anything like that. It was all just us and what we do normally. And that's what I wanted. I really wanted it just to cut out all race. Now I might have different things on there that you could relate, I guess, but the whole goal is I just wanted it to be we're all the same. Because in the end, we're all the same. Now, some people like that. I'll admit, some people get it, and they're like, man, that's pretty cool. There's other people that don't. I've had some customers ask me to do custom pieces that have to do with race, and I understand. They just want something, unique. But the problem is I can't, because it's part of my world. I mean, really, this whole thing is part of my world, so I can't just change it and say, okay, well, I'm gonna allow this to happen. Sometimes, I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but sometimes I am just really stubborn about that stuff. I really am. That I just can't I just can't like change it up, because I'm doing something for everybody, and the last thing I'm going to do is change it up. So I think your integrity is one of the only things that you could really hold on to, right? So to me, it's pretty important. Now, back to T-Bone. So T-Bone and Bob went to high school together, started the band C8. They had a couple different people in the band with them that really didn't make it. So you have people that play with them, but I mean the core part of this band is Bob and T-Bone. They're the core. And Bob would never do anything without T-Bone. I mean, there were talks one time about Bob having a solo tour, and that didn't go over well. Bob did not take that well. I mean, it's kind of like a disrespect to T-Bone, right? All right. All right. Now, when I first started the Boneyard, like with Bob's first concert, I have some pictures of it, but I had no idea that this world was going to be as popular as it is. And I was going to do so many pieces from the hippies on. You know, there were just so many pieces that I've done so far. So, but now there's so many different characters. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to start doing this stuff, because, man, it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I need to kind of take record of it so that we can all keep track of the whole Boneyard. So in the end, like, I guess T-Bone would be, you know, a very important character in my world, being that he's an OG. I mean, dude, he's more of an OG than Cotton Candy. And Cotton Candy's a pretty OG because she was like one of the first gallery size pieces that I did, which was bare bones and, you know, her on the pole. And like I said, if you haven't seen that one, definitely you can't miss it. Go to my Instagram under Frank W. Perine. And it is her on the strip pole. And let me see if you could see it. That's a copy of it on my phone. Now, what's funny about that is you see the money and you see her clothes and you see all that. And there's Bob right there. There's Bob right there. And this is on a pretty big piece. Now, what's funny about it, when you first start looking at it, and I did it on purpose, when you first start looking at it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a stripper. Oh my gosh. And you start thinking all sorts of negative things. And then I come up to people and I say, hey, how do you like that piece? And you can tell they're kind of like, it's a stripper. It's a stripper. And we do not like strippers. And then I tell them, well, you know what it's called? It's titled Nothing to See. And everybody that has seen that piece, when I tell them that, starts laughing. Everybody. Because they were looking at it in a totally different route. So for when they hear what it's called and then realize, yeah, there's really nothing to see. What exactly are you looking at? At that point, they start laughing because they know they were thinking, oh, look at that, it's a stripper and all that stuff, when really there's absolutely nothing to say. Nothing. It's a skeleton. But I like doing that. I like doing that for everyone. I just love doing stuff like that because I think it engages you. And it's fun, man. My whole thing is all about fun. All my stuff. Hence the names, hence the characters, hence all the stuff that they do. I mean, it's just all about fun. it was cool drawing him for for the Irish pub, because I haven't drawn him in a long time. Like I said, since I think the last thing was the green room I think that he was in, and that was like years ago. And those who own the green room, you know who you are. I'm so happy because you guys bought the green room and a couple other pieces in my infancy. I mean, years ago. And now I so appreciate your guys' support and all that you've done. I mean, believing in me in the very beginning, believing in this whole thing, which it's adapted a little bit, it's grown a little bit, but you guys know originally what I wanted to do, and I think I'm doing it pretty well. All right, there he is, T-Bone. All right, now let's just do my normal, and let's just go right in here like this, and then I need to bring it down here. Okay. Now I think his pants in the first picture were orange, if I want to make sure. I'm almost positive they were orange, not red, but I'm just switching it up a little bit. We're just going to have fun, right? So we'll do the background orange. And get that orange behind him. Because, yeah, I think his pants were orange in the first one. And that's the concert. But I don't think his pants are orange in the 3-leaf clover. All I gotta do is turn around, really. Oh, they are orange. Look at that. All right. So there we go, everybody. This is T-Bone. Other person in C8. Now, I'm doing all these pieces, believe it or not. I'm doing all these pieces in the sizes, meaning the graphic size that's needed to make them into t-shirts too. So if you guys ever kind of want and say, man, that would be cool, I would love that on a t-shirt, just DM me. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. But I think it came out great. Right? What do you guys think? Oh, what do you guys think? You think it came out all right? I mean, it looks just like him, right? I mean, the bone structure and everything. I mean, come on. It's T-Bone, right? Oh, come on, Bob. See, Bob, that's your deal, dude. Your deal is that you just, like, you gotta have, like, the cutting edge and you gotta be right. Well, maybe you're not, dude. Right? It's a good guy. It's a good it's a good rendering of him. I think so. Plain? What do you want me to have him doing? Yeah, you're out of your mind. Kind of back me up. Thank you. It's a good reference of him. Man, I swear, Bob, sometimes. Well, thank you very much. And I will, oh, look at that. See, what's up now, Bob? What's up now? Yeah, Cotton Candy's taking pictures. That's all that matters. Well, thank you everyone for coming out, and I think the silent producer is silent. I think he approves of this message on election night, and we should elect Bob. Bob would solve everything, right? And maybe his runner-up could be Cotton Candy, or vice president. It could be Tibia's Pizza, right? It could be Philippe. I don't know. Well, I appreciate all you guys, and I'm going to be doing more Boneyard stuff because I'm digging it. All right. You guys have a good evening. And you never know. I might see you tomorrow. And that was kind of weird, right? An old guy doing that. But, maybe I'll do it like a Scottish. We'll see ya tomorrow. No, that wasn't right either. Never mind. See you guys later. Thanks a lot.